This brief video is a teaser for a production that will commence once funds are secured, and it will contain the information that consists of my investigations over the past 4 years. The information that you're going to see is conclusive. There is without a doubt that the events known as the shooting of Lee Harvey Oswald were nothing more than a staged, scripted out, made-for-TV movie. And I'll prove it to you. The following video that you'll see comes straight from the Dallas County's District Attorney's Office. We will play it in its entirety as it was released, and then I will go back over it and point out just a couple things that you need to know.
Search.
Now let's take a look at the footage that was shown to the public that day, because this event was told to be the first live murder on TV.
This is the basement floor of the Dallas City Hall, and that's a scuffle on the basement floor. It seems to concern the sergeant.
He has been shot. Oswald has been shot.
Lee Oswald.
Oswald has been shot.
We're going to switch now.
Police are pulling.
We're going to switch now to Bob Hoppacker down in the basement of the courthouse, who is close to the scene. Go ahead, Bob.
Lee Harold Oswald has been shot.
All right, I'm going outside.
They're cooperating, Dick. They're all cooperating. Anyone recognize the We don't know.
All right, we're switching now. We're still looking at the basement entrance from the jail, from the Houston County Jail. And we're going to try to bring in Bob Hoppacker of KRLD. Can you hear us down there, Bob? Can you give us an account of what happened?
Lee Harold Oswald has been shot. We saw no one fire the shot, only a blast from some bullet here in the basement of Dallas Police Headquarters. Oswald fell to the concrete in front of our eyes and immediately was covered by police officers who took him quickly, immediately, instantly from our sight. Police have ringed the inside, and no one is allowed to leave. Everyone is being held in place.
Now let's take a look at the first video one more time, and I'll point out some things that you need to know. As we pause it at this section, I want you to pay attention to the bricks that are on the wall behind the people standing there in the center. Now as we watch the brick patterns, I'll show you a photograph that was taken almost at the same moment from a different perspective by a different photographer. Do you see something that's missing? You notice the microphone that is hanging on the upper right hand side of the one photograph. It's not in the other photograph. It's not in this video. So let's look at another video and see if it's in that one.
To Dallas, Texas, and Tom Pettit.
There is the president. There is Lee Oswald. He's been shot. He's been shot. Lee Oswald has been shot. There's the man with a gun. It's absolute panic. Absolute panic here in the basement of Dallas Police Headquarters. The detectives have their guns drawn. Oswald has been shot. There is no question about it. Oswald has been...
Now looking at this video, you can see clearly that there is nothing in the area, and you may see the little metal piece that's hanging from the rafters, but we'll look at that further in detail in a moment. So let's look at some of the stills that were taken of that event at the same time that these videos were shot, and we will examine the microphone and its position. As we examine the jail where he was let out from this door and came down this hallway and exited to the left-hand side of the screen. Once you notice the brick pattern that's on the wall, we can count and we can see how many bricks down this wall. This door is high. We can use the bricks on the wall as a means to make a rough estimate as per where the microphone was that day. We can see in this photo, this happened just about at the time of the shooting, and of course we know by the video there was no microphone in the background during this shot. So we can see the shadow that's cast on the wall. This is very important because we can count down the layers of bricks and we can know where the shadow should be on that wall. And we can use that as a frame of reference when we look at the other photographs. See? No mic, no shadow. And from a third perspective, we can see still no shadow, no mic. Shadow, once again, on the wall. The reason why I'm pointing this out is if there is any argument to the fact of possibly there is a depth of field issue with the lens being used, the depth of field does not affect the actual items in the photograph. So the shadow being cast on the wall would not be affected by the different perspective that the depth of field would provide you. Again, just moments before, shadow on the wall. The reason why this is important is in order for them to create a picture with sound that was accurate to what you're seeing, they would have to use microphones. When you see the lack of microphones in the video and then the presence of the microphone in the stills that were taken at the same time, that proves impossible. Therefore, the only conclusion that you can come to by looking at this evidence is the fact that they shot multiple takes. And if that wasn't enough to prove this was a fake, where's the muzzle flash? Now. Want to see that one again?
Search.
That flash was a camera flash. So there's no flash during the actual moment that the gun is fired. So they added the flash to make it look like that was a muzzle flash to the video that they showed the public that day. The final video documentary will contain additional information that will prove, without a doubt, that the rest of the events that we know that took place on November 22nd, 1963, the day before, were again also staged and faked. Remember, if an event is real, there's no need to fake anything.